The Rangers taking on the Chicago White Sox. First of a three-game series on another beautiful night for baseball here at the ballpark. Both these teams are 8-11. Both have designs on bigger and better. We welcome you to Texas Ranger Baseball tonight. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Josh Lewin. It's a lot to talk about when you talk about C.J. Wilson. This is a guy that really wanted this starter's gig. He worked hard to get it, and so far he's just been great.
He really has, Josh. He's started twice this year and hasn't given up a run. 3 times, 2 of them he hasn't given up a run. In the first start, he struck out 9. We're going to check out his third start, which was against the Red Sox, and it was a different kind of start. He only struck out 2, but every pitch he threw sunk, whether it was his changeup or his two-seam fastball, and he got 14 ground balls in this game and really pitched efficiently. So he's shown that he can go for the strikeout. He can also go for the ground ball. In any event, he's pitched 3 times, and he's been really good in all 3 of them.
Well, the Rangers happy to have him not only in that rotation now, but on the mound tonight as they look to get going against the Chicago team that's really hitting the ball for power very well. Not for average much, but for power. And boy, they've got a good pitcher going tonight. That's the lefty Mark Buehrle on the mound against CJ when we come back. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By Progressive. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. By Jack in the Box. Right now, Jack in the Box offering a variety of menu items, letting people choose any 3 for only $3 plus tax. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Rangers wearing red tonight, taking on the black-clad Chicago White Sox. Both these teams are 8-11. Have not checked Ozzie Guillen's Twitter account tonight. Probably do that in-game at some point. Always combustible, always interesting. But a winning manager just not this year. 8-11. Same record as we said that the Rangers have to start. They do start with speed at the top of their order. They imported Juan Pierre. Gordon Beckham is the second baseman. Former Ranger Andrew Jones batting third. Paul Konerko has surged to 8 home runs to lead the majors now. Alex Rios having a bounce-back season. Carlos Quentin is having a down year so far. Alexei Ramirez, Donnie Lucy in for A.J. Przinsky. And the native Texan Jason Nix, whose brother used to play for the Rangers. And courtesy of Suzuki, Mr. Green, we scout out C.J. Wilson.
It's been an excellent start for C.J. After 3 starts, his ERA is 1.37. That's third in the American League. His last start was a good, solid start against the Red Sox. His first career win as a starter was that game at Boston. No runs allowed in 2 of his 3 starts this year. All 3 of his starts have been quality starts.
I don't remember ever seeing this particular look tonight, the red against the black. We've seen the blue and black when the Rangers and the Sox get together, but tonight C.J. Wilson opts not only for the red jersey, but for the red glove. C.J. is one of the rare pitchers who accessorizes. When the Rangers wear blue, the glove is blue. When the Rangers wear red, he's got the backup red glove.
I don't like the blue and the black look. The red and the black's not bad, though. I love the Rangers' red uniforms, though.
Very striking.
Great look.
Yep. In any color out of the crayon box, C.J. Wilson has looked terrific this year. We mentioned third in the league in ERA. Doing a lot of that, getting guys to hit the ball on the ground. It helps that the Rangers defensively have been playing very well. This whole pitch-to-contact thing means you've got to go get the baseball. The Rangers have only 1 error in their last 6 games. It's a new-look outfield. Gentry just up from the minors. Guerrero from DH to right field tonight. Nelson Cruz put on the DL. That was very disappointing news, but not necessarily for 26-year-old Craig Gentry. That's why he's here tonight.
Yeah, and Craig's been playing really well in the minor leagues, hitting the ball well. You know he can run, play defense, and throw. He's shown a lot of improvement with the bat this year. Great opportunity for him to get some playing time.
Obviously disappointing for Nelson Cruz, that hamstring injury, and keep him on the shelf. And with that, half of the team's home run total is now on the DL. Nelson Cruz has 7. These White Sox is a team. Well, they've got 26. They're not hitting for average at all, but they are hitting for power.
CJ against the Red Sox had a really good sinker. A good changeup that tailed away from the right-hand hitters and down. And that last pitch's slider was effective, too. He kept everything down. And he got somewhere around 14 ground balls in that game. He's already got 2 for 2 in this game.
Smoke's got to dig it out of the dirt, and he does. Gordon Beckham is out. Now some guys that hit the ball in the air. And we saw that with Andrew Jones last year. He's about to come up.
You know, throughout the course of the year, each infielder, especially on the left side of the infield, will throw who knows how many, 10 or 15 balls in the dirt like that on routine plays. And you depend on the first baseman to scoop those out of the dirt for you to keep you from getting an error. Nice to see Justin do that on that ball from Michael.
He was sharing a laugh with the third base umpire Tom Hallion there. Ron Culpa, by the way, has balls and strikes tonight. And Culpa says that is outside. Andrew Jones, 6 home runs already. We know he's capable of hitting the ball out. He's been terrorizing lefties here to start the year. Andrew had that 3 home run game for the Rangers in Anaheim last July. Problem was he didn't hit a single home run after that. Another ground ball. Michael Young stays busy. And C.J. Wilson continues to look outstanding. Mark Buehrle, who's got a no-hitter and a perfect game to his credit, on the mound for Chicago next. Buehrle, who's all about going at a real quick tempo. He's going to get going right now against Elvis Andrus. Now, Mark Buehrle, a major league record 45 consecutive batters retired at one point last year. I mean, you talk about being on your game and keeping it going. Mark Buehrle absolutely did that. In that was a perfect game against the Tampa Bay Rays. He's also got the no-hitter against the Rangers. And since the start of the 2001 season, when he came up, nobody's pitched more innings, nobody's had more quality starts in the major leagues than the 38th round pick, Mark Buehrle. After Andrus, by the way, as we check the Southwest starting lineups, it's Young and Hamilton tonight. Guerrero and Garco, who's got great career numbers against Buehrle. Smoke and Trainer, Blanco and Gentry. Pope's near second base, and Beckham's got it for the out. He'll scout out Mark Buehrle, and with Buehrle, you always have to go quick because he goes quick.
4 starts this year, 4.56 ERA. His first start was against Cleveland, 7 innings, no runs. Since that time, he hasn't pitched quite as well. His last start was against the Rays, 4 2/3, 9 hits, 6 runs. Career against the Rangers, he's been really good at the ballpark here. If you watch the movement on his pitches and then watch CJ, the game against the Red Sox in the first inning against the White Sox, you'll see a similar kind of movement. Difference with CJ is the velocity on his sinker is probably 4 or 5 miles an hour consistently more than Buehrle's. That's one of the reasons CJ's been getting so many ground balls. 14 against the Red Sox and 3 already in this game.
Michael Young tags it down the right field line.
Buehrle will, for the most part, keep away from the right-hand hitters with change of speeds. Nice play out there with his sinker and his changeup. But he'll also come in enough to keep you honest with his cutter, and he'll get a lot of called strikes on the cutter or a lot of balls hit off the handle because of hitters being conscious of the sinking balls away.
There's the grounder on to Ramirez. If the ball gets hit to the outfield tonight, Pierre Rios and Andrew Jones charged with running them down. Nix, Ramirez, Beckham, Konerko round the horn. And the young catcher, Donnie Lucy, for the slumping A.J. Przinsky. Buehrle's one of those guys who pitches like he's double parked. Just wants to get that ball and go. And only the fact that Josh Hamilton's complaining about that last call is preventing Buehrle from throwing right now.
Well, that first pitch, according to the tracker, was a strike, but it's a strike, a low strike you don't see called very often. If it's called consistently tonight, both CJ and Buehrle will benefit significantly because that's the name of their game, keeping the ball down like that.
For those of you in the audience that actually remember records, that you put on the phonograph.
I would qualify.
It's like a 33 1/3 record being played at 45.
They say they're starting to make records again.
They're making a comeback.
Wouldn't mean you have to go out and buy a Victrola?
The 2-2 pitch. Hamilton serves it into left center field.
That's a good job of hitting right there.
Rio scampers after it, but Hamilton into second base. He's got a double.
Stayed right with that pitch.
Well, and Josh, still, here we are, Tag, almost at the end of April. He's got one hit to the end. It's not to left field or center field. He has pulled one baseball for a hit in essentially 4 weeks.
Well, you don't want to try to pull that pitch. It's sinking down. He stayed right with it nicely and drove it into the gap.
Vlad Guerrero's got a history of success against Buehrle. Very few do.
Buehrle surprised Vlad right there. He threw him a fastball for a strike.
Vlad has been up against Buehrle 25 times in his career. He has 4 home runs. And Tom, you mentioned that Buehrle, for the most part, has pitched well against the Rangers. He had the one memorable start here where he complained about what he thought was a bunch of cheating going on by the Rangers. And as it turned out, that was much ado about nothing. Guerrero rolls out. And these two lefties are as advertised earlier.
Hello to you guys, and look who we have here in the community corner box. Yes, it's Karen Morris, our favorite girl with the Texas Rangers, here to talk about an upcoming big event by the Rangers.
That's right, Jim. On May 23rd, the Rangers Foundation will host our 8th annual Park Place Dealerships Texas Rangers Triple Play. We'll have all of the Rangers players out there for the night. We'll have a live and silent auction. It includes a trip to Boston to watch the Rangers play the Red Sox in Boston, a trip to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it'll be a great night.
A lot of good trips. You also get to sit with a Ranger player if you come to the event. For those who want to come, what do they need to do?
They need to visit texasrangers.com/triple play. We do have tables and sponsorships available, and like you said, you'll join a Rangers player for the evening.
There we go. Hey, great job by Karen, huh? Yeah, there we go. Way to go, Karen. Thank you. Gosh.
Paul Konerko, thank you, Jim. Lifting it towards left. In range for Josh Hamilton. And that swing by Konerko gave you pause because he's homered in 3 straight games.
He had a good swing at it. I think CJ got the cutter just in on his fist enough to keep it in the ballpark, but it was close.
Now, CJ at this ballpark, you go back to last year now, Tom, and we're talking about the last 48 innings for CJ. He's allowed 3 runs in Arlington, Texas. And for years, we have heard how it's just not easy at all to pitch in this ballpark. CJ has turned that conventional wisdom on its ear. 3 runs in 48 innings.
Well, if CJ keeps throwing the ball like he's been throwing it the last couple of games, keeping the ball down, making it sink, this would be a good ballpark for him to pitch in. Grass is nice and thick and plush in the infield, which will slow down ground balls just a little bit. And if he keeps the ball on the ground, you don't have to worry as much about the jet stream blowing out. Not blowing out tonight, but in the course of the summertime it will be.
Down and into Alex Rios. He's taken over this number 5 spot in the order with Jermaine Dye moving on to points unknown. Jermaine Dye is still unemployed. And Rios, like what we talked about with Andrew Jones, is just crushing the ball against lefties. Slugging percentage of around 900. And CJ has kind of steered into some dangerous waters here. 3-1. Nice pitch.
What a pitch. That ball was tailing away from him. 3-1 pitch. Went from what should be a nice aggressive count for the hitter to a ball right off the end of the bat. Excellent pitch.
Going to go back to spring training, Tom. Boy, you can really see the movement on that. Giving the Rangers all the credit in the world. The management, John Daniels, Nolan Ryan, and Ron Washington, too, being open-minded and just kind of waiting it out to see. All right, let's see what we got here with C.J. Wilson as the starter. And the more it happened along as an experiment, boy, the more it just looked like it was going to pan out.
And CJ made the decision for management about one of the easiest decisions of all of spring training. Looked like it might be a tough one when it started because of the depth with starting pitchers. But CJ pretty much threw the ball better than any other starting pitcher in spring training. And in the course of the season, he's the Rangers' best starter right now.
Right. I think that was the most compelling argument against CJ, upsetting that delicate balance of the bullpen ecosystem. That, look, we had 8 or 9 guys who we really like that could start. Now CJ now makes it 9 or 10, but you're right. As soon as he went to the head of the class,
not much you can do.
Now you have to give him the gig. And the Rangers have found a way to get through the 8th innings this year. Darren Oliver's been terrific. Darren O'Day, his usual fine self. O'Day not completely healthy right now. Has a little bit of a back issue. Doesn't look to be serious, but he was actually unavailable for the game last night. C.J. Wilson.
That's good stuff right there.
And a fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout. A little bit of everything in the 2nd inning. Still no score. He's been mowing down the Chicago White Sox, and he's not missing a new episode of Lost. It's a rerun tonight, so.
Good, because I'm too behind watching him. I didn't want to make it 3.
Mark Buehrle lobs a breaking ball in there to Garko to make it 0-2. Garko is in the lineup tonight because he has destroyed Mark Buehrle in the past. And maybe this is just what Garko needs to kickstart his season. He is hitless. Kind of a scatter shot 0 for 11. Ryan Garko trying to get a move on here. We'll send it to left.
That was a very similar at bat that Konerko had.
You're right.
They got a cutter. Both of them got cutters just in enough to keep it in the ballpark. Good swings, but didn't get all of them.
Folks, during April and May, any Dr. Pepper or Diet Dr. Pepper can be redeemed at the ballpark. Or you can enter Dr. Pepper's coupon code at TexasRangers.com to purchase half-price tickets in many different seating areas. A strike to Justin Smoke, who got his first big league hit yesterday. Double to the opposite field. Now he grounds one sharply to third. And you're seeing the Mark Buehrle experience up close and personal tonight.
That's at least the third out he's gotten with his cutter. Michael grounded to shortstop. Both outs this inning on the cutter on the inside part of the plate. Watch the catcher sets up in. There's the cutter right in the glove, and the result is the hitter hits it just a little bit off center.
The other lefty they've got in their rotation, the former Rangers prospect John Danks, is off to a 3-0 start, 1.5 ERA. And Buehrle, because of that stumble that he had against Tampa Bay last time, his numbers are not quite where he wants them. He had a great opening day effort, 7 innings of 3-hit shutout ball. It's funny that his stumble would be against Tampa Bay. That's the team that he had the perfect game against just last summer. The 18th perfect game in the history of the major leagues. Or in other words, about 1 out of every 49,000 games is a perfect game. And Buehrle had kind of a warm-up act towards that. We mentioned he no-hit the Rangers a couple of years ago, that back in Chicago. That one was almost a perfect game, too. He walked Sammy Sosa and then promptly picked him off. And that was the only Ranger base runner. It's like the one that Dick Bosman had, where the only base runner was his own throwing error. Otherwise, it would have been a perfect game. Back when he was an Indian. Trainer and the Rangers, I guess, with the news today that both Jared Saltalamacchia and Taylor Teagarden are not going to be here for a while. You got to think that Matt Trainer looks around now and goes, wow, I guess I made it. Max Ramirez is here now, too. That's the Rangers catching combo going forward. Max Ramirez has just arrived, and he will tag team with Trainer.
It's a good opportunity for both of them. And I don't think, they're not going to call Jared back up until he can be the everyday catcher. They're not going to call a 23-year-old catcher back up to be a backup. So Salty's going to have to play his way back up here in the minor leagues to earn the regulars job. Meanwhile, these guys will have the job.
Matt Trainer, now that he's got the gig, hits it up and hits it out of here. Home run, Matt Trainer.
Couldn't really tell. It hit something and bounced up in the air. Umpire was right on top of it and ruled that it was a home run. Worked the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fouled some off. There's a cutter. That cutter didn't get in, though. It's right in the middle of the plate and up. That becomes a very good pitch to hit. If it cuts in to the inside corner, maybe Matt hits it more off the handle.
That's a great example of what Brandon Inge of the Tigers calls sorting through the junk mail. A bunch of stuff you just don't necessarily want. You go, no, not that one. No, don't need it. And then the one letter you really want to open, well, that was the one right there. Matt Trainer didn't miss it.
When you open, it tells you won the Publishers Clearinghouse.
There's Ed McMahon standing at your door. And Buehrle now behind 1-0 thanks to Matt Trainer. Blanco with a grounder to third. Now the Rangers making that big catching switch. Saltalamacchia and Teagarden are down. Trainer is established, and the Rangers have the lead. car insurance. By AT&T. See what's new from AT&T. Go to att.com for details. And by Whataburger, just like you like it. Matt Trainer has given the Rangers a 1-0 lead. There will be no Mark Buehrle no-hitter tonight. That actually was taken care of by Josh Hamilton in the first with a double. And now C.J. Wilson will try to stay in the groove. It's been a great start for him tonight. 1, 2, 3 in the first and the second. And Alexei Ramirez, known as the Cuban Missile. Well, he is not really launching much here in 2010. Corkscrews that one to third.
Another pitch right around the fist, another ground ball.
Now CJ just continues to establish that ERA just keeps dipping down and down. He's given up only 1 extra base hit in 4 starts. Jose Bautista of the Blue Jays got him. That was CJ's very first start of the year. And that's it. Just a bunch of singles here and there. As we saw from that last piece of contact by Ramirez, it's not easy to drive the ball on a pitch like that from CJ. That one is going to get just inside the bag, and that will be the first extra base hit against C.J. Wilson in a while. Michael Young playing off the bag and just couldn't get to it. That's an unlikely guy to get her done, Donnie Lucy.
Well, you can throw the pitch to get the ground ball. Trying to throw the pitch, the cutter in. He got it in decently, maybe not exactly where he wanted it, but not a bad pitch. He got the ground ball. But some of those ground balls have a chance to find a hole, and that one was right down the line and did.
Now CJ will go after Jason Nix, Dallas resident, grew up with his brother Lance in Midland. And Jason came up with the Rockies, and his manager, now the Rangers hitting coach, Clint Hurdle. Clint was really the first guy to commit to Jason Nix. Now the White Sox have won 3 straight, the last 2 on walk-off homers. Only the second time in franchise history they've won back-to-back games in walk-off style with a home run. Alex Rios and Andrew Jones providing the heroics. And the Rangers appreciated that because they did it to Seattle. The Mariners are pretty close to where the Rangers are right now, similar record. Got a bunch of teams right now expected to do something that are kind of slogging along at around 8-11, 9-11. Braves, Red Sox, Mariners. And obviously the Rangers, like these White Sox, 8-11.
Atlanta's lost 6 straight. They're off to a pretty good start.
They're advising that gentleman he can get a contract, an honorary Rangers contract, and he caught it on the fly. You go down to the fan relations booth and you get a signed Nolan Ryan contract for a day. Honorary contract for a day. You don't get like Major League per diem, unfortunately, or anything, but still pretty cool to take that to the office. Nix has worked the count to 3-2. Lucy the lead from second. Down goes Jason Nix.
Good movement on that sinking. Sinking away and sinking down. Right where Matt had his glove, outside corner.
Wilson gets to take on a lefty now, Juan Pierre. Lefties have always had a tough time with CJ in the big leagues, no matter what role CJ has been pitching in.
When CJ pitched in short relief, his fastball was frequently 92 to 95 miles an hour. As a starter, it's more in the 89 to 92 range. And I think CJ's, instead of coming in to see how hard he can throw it, he's more pitching now. He's using his two-seam fastball, which sometimes doesn't have the same velocity as a four-seam fastball. Might be a mile or two different. But the 90 and 91 that he's throwing now is very effective because of the movement that he's getting on it. Hitters just aren't getting a good piece of the ball against him.
So a moving 90 is better than a straight 97.
I think so. Maybe not straight 97, but straight 94 or 5. 97, you can get away with some mistakes. But yeah, I think a 90-mile-an-hour pitch with movement, provided you got pretty good location, is more valuable than a straight fastball in the mid to upper 90s.
0-2 pitch. Got him.
That's the pitcher right there,
Christopher John Wilson. Then the story of 2010 for the Rangers. The Rangers try to build on that against the quick of tempo Mark Buehrle. Gentry just called up today when Nelson Cruz went on the DL. And LA eligible to come off May the 12th. Gentry steps into one. Drives it into left. Juan Pierre back, feeling for the wall, and he's got it.
Oh, that's too bad. Got a good swing at it and hit it pretty well, too. All the way to the base of the wall. Good swing right there by Craig.
You're going to take Nelly Cruz's spot on the roster. You might as well drive it like Nelly Cruz. Gentry known for his speed, of course. Takes Pierre right back near that fence. Now Elvis Andrews, the batter. Elvis had the exciting walk-off hit when the Rangers beat the Tigers Friday night. Then he had a couple of hits on Saturday, but things have withered a bit for him since then. Fouls it, and he's behind Buehrle 0-2. That really was a weird one when Buehrle just got smoked here a few summers ago and then went to the media and said, well, you know, it's because the Rangers have that system of lights out there that tip off what pitch I'm going to throw.
I think it was just one of those games where everything he threw up there, the Rangers hit a rope. And the only thing that occurred to him was that couldn't happen unless they knew what was coming.
He thought that one of those offices out there in center field was tipping off the Ranger hitters. And that was news to the Ranger bench. They said they had no idea that was going on. And sure enough, it was not going on. But
well, sometimes pitchers, you're throwing what you think is a pretty good game, making some pretty good pitches. And just one of those nights where the hitters are right on everything you throw. You just say to yourself, how could that happen? I had pretty good stuff tonight. Maybe they knew what was coming. A lot of times pitchers will tip the pitch. They might do something different in their delivery. Kenny Rogers had that problem for a while because on his breaking ball, he would squeeze his glove shut, and the hitter could see that. And so sometimes you can pick that up. The pitcher will tip off the pitch.
Well, there's a case where speed causes a misplay. Beckham knew that he had to get that ball, get rid of it quickly. And his mind just looked like maybe it was going too fast. Elvis is safe.
It's an off-speed pitch. Elvis cued it right off the end of the bat. Ball probably had a lot of spin on it. And unfortunately for Beckham, it spun right out of his glove.
That is going to go as an E4. Yeah, you can see the spin on the ball right there. Chance for Michael Young. And yes, you do have to watch out for the old Mark Buehrle pickoff. Last year, 8 pickoffs, and since he broke into the big leagues in 01, he's got 65 of those bad boys. No one else in baseball has 45. Now he's got another one.
That's something you just got to be aware of, that pickoff move.
Well, I mean, it's scouted. Clint Hurdle, Ron Washington, they're doing their jobs telling the guys, watch out, watch out.
And chances are that pickoff move was not quite the same move as when he threw over there earlier.
That's a bad feeling right there. But you know what, Elvis, you're not alone. 65 other guys have been victimized too.
Well, at least he can't get a double play. He did that pretty well too. Yep. Last year he led the league in ground into double plays. Had 6 in one game last year, tied an American League record.
If you do try to run on him, obviously you're just not going to get going with any kind of meaningful gait. You got to do things like homer against him. Matt Trainer has done that, and that's why the Rangers lead at the end of 3-1-0. Back to our AT&T trivia question. The only 5 pitchers since 1960 to throw a non-perfect and in it goes. Beautiful night for a ball game tonight. 71 degrees. Very light breeze. The same two teams tomorrow. 7:05 first pitch. It'll be a $1 hot dog night at the ballpark. Beckham right back to the mound.
There's that sinker right off the end of the bat.
CJ's just carving them up. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, here he is, John Blake of the Texas Rangers guy, here to say, yes, All-Star voting is now underway. Right, John?
Well, we want everybody to vote Texas, Jim. The in-stadium All-Star balloting began tonight here at Rangers Ballpark at Arlington. It continues through the 9th of June. Fans that come out can pick up All-Star ballots, vote for their favorite Rangers. Josh Hamilton, the great fans of Texas, have done a super job of getting him elected 2 years in a row. There are 5 former All-Stars on the Rangers ballot this year. And one new thing we've added, we now have a home plate ballot center. Behind home plate, a Rangers ballot center. You can go vote online. You can get extra ballots. We open all through the month of May and into June. So vote Texas.
There we go. We just showed that home plate ballot center right there. Vote Texas, and that's exactly what these little leaguers are doing. Put in those ballots. All Rangers. That away, buddy. That away, John. Thank you very much.
Okay, Jim. Thank you.
Got it, Josh.
Thank you very much, Jim Knox, and what's left of John Blake, who just keeps losing weight. Looks
great, doesn't he?
Andrew Jones has slimmed down a bit himself. Not that we mean to keep track of such things, but
no, he looks great.
Certainly a far cry from how he looked as an LA Dodger a couple of years ago. I think Rotund was kind of in play then. He got certainly more in shape as a Ranger, and seems to have taken it to a next level with the White Sox.
Paints the outside corner.
Andrew with the 6 home runs already this year, and he's not been an everyday player. 394 for his career. He's going to draw a walk. That brings up Paul Konerko, who's probably the most dangerous power hitter going in the White Sox lineup. A reminder, you can visit the official online shop of the Rangers at TexasRangers.com. Get your gear from the official source at TexasRangers.com shop. Except no substitutes. All right, well, classic good news, bad news here. Bad news is Konerko has 8 home runs already. Good news is he tends to hit into a lot of double plays. You can tell the White Sox aren't getting a lot of guys on base. Konerko 8 homers, but only 14 RBI. Andrew Jones 6 homers, only 9 runs batted in. The Rangers were an 8-6 loser to the Tigers yesterday. They had fought back from down 6-1 to tie it up. And then Neftali Feliz, who had given up only 2 homers all year last year, allowed 2 over the stretch of 3 pitches in the 9th inning. Late inning drama has been kind of a cornerstone of this young season tag. That's the 9th time in 19 games that the game's been decided in the winning team's last at bat. Two and 1, the count to Konerko.
Konerko has a patient eye. He's walked 12 times this year. For a power hitter, he doesn't strike out a whole lot. The last 2 pitches are balls that if you do swing at them, you do have a good chance to hit a ground ball and have it end up a double play. Konerko trying to make CJ get the ball up a little bit.
4 of his major league high 8 home runs have either tied the game or given the White Sox the lead. That is how the White Sox are doing most of their scoring. They're hitting home runs. 50% of their runs have come on the long ball. And that was not supposed to be the case this year. They went out and got Juan Pierre and even Omar Vizquel, trying to play a little bit more Ozzie ball, little ball. But not yet. There's the ground ball. 5, 4, 3, double play. Gotta love C.J. Wilson. The Rangers lead the White Sox 1-0. In the house, the only 5 pitchers since 1960 to throw a non-perfect game no-hitter and still face the minimum. Buehrle did it with the Rangers, we mentioned. There's the rest of the list. Terry Mulholland, if memory serves, that was a Charlie Hayes error, and then Charlie Hayes ended up making a great play to save the no-hitter. Hard to believe that was 20 years ago. Hamilton cranks one in the right. We've been talking about how he's been hitting to the opposite field, but he just turned on that. And he's now 2 for 2. Vlad Guerrero coming up. The no-hitter for Buehrle against the Rangers. Now, there were a couple of moments that gave you pause. But as it turned out on a chilly April night, Mark Buehrle all the way, getting it done. And Gerald Laird's ground out sealed it.
That was a tremendous pickup on that low throw from Joe Creedy on the one that he dove into foul territory on to save it.
The perfect game had the catch for the Agents. There's Guerrero ripping one in the left. It's 2 on, nobody out.
A couple of ropes right there, boy. He tried to get the fastball into Josh, and he ripped it past first. And Vladimir just ripping whatever they throw up there.
Finally getting a start in right field and not DHing tonight. And I guess the irony there, Tag, is the way that C.J. Wilson's pitching, he might as well be DHing tonight. Who's going to hit a ball to right field? On your forward leaderboard, .513 batting average at home for Vlad Guerrero. And it's just so nice that he can call this place home now, because he just did whatever he wanted to in this place before. He just did it to the Rangers instead of for them. Here's Garco, who takes a strike. And tag back to that perfect game for Buehrle last summer. Dwayne Wise had entered the game as a defensive replacement just moments before Gabe Kapler hit that ball that sent Wise to the wall in left center. He made that incredible leaping catch and a bare-fisted save as the ball was coming out. probably the most dramatic catch in any perfect game, and that would include the amazing catch made by Rusty Greer to save Kenny Rogers' perfecto. The White Sox were playing a day game after a night game for that perfect game. They were facing a doubleheader the next afternoon in Detroit, so they trotted out a lineup that looked kind of like a split squad spring training game. They had a catcher who had never caught Buehrle before, Ramon Castro. Guys were playing out of position. Garco lays off. It's 2-2.
Yeah, Buehrle started Garco off with 2 cutters right in on the inside corner, and then he tried to throw breaking balls right on the outside corner and backdoor him on the outside part of the plate, but he's missed with both of them. Try to go away again.
What a chance it would be for Justin Smoak if Garco can maneuver his way on. He's on deck. Pop towards first.
And there's the cutter after 3 pitches away, right in on the fist and jammed him.
Boy, 4 of 13 Garco's at bats now this year, but a pop up either to the first baseman or second baseman.
There's the last pitch coming in right on the fists, upper inside part of the plate. It's kind of the sequence of pitches that gets you there. It's not a pitch that he can't hit. It's just after you've seen 3 straight pitches away, you're not quite prepared for it, and all it takes is a little indecision, and you end up hitting it off the handle. And it was a pretty good changeup.
Rangers leading on a Matt Trainer home run. Trainer's on deck right now. And again, off speed to Smoak. We mentioned Buehrle was a 38th round draft pick of the White Sox. He says that in college, the only scout that attended his games in junior college was from the Rangers. But the Rangers, like 28 other teams, said no thank you.
Well, Buehrle was, I'm sure, a guy in college that didn't light up a radar gun. Just didn't catch the scout's attention.
Then it was a junior college in a small town in the Midwest. He and Albert Pujols were kind of buried in the same situation. Midwest junior colleges, and they got found in the 13th and 38th rounds, respectively. Smoak breaks his bat. Fouls it down near third. That's awesome.
Smile.
Taking that in for show and tell tomorrow. That ball cued up near first. The Rangers have 4 hits in the game. As a collective, they've been kind of hitting their stride of late. They've got exactly 11 hits in 3 games in a row now into tonight. It gets away. Runners advancing to second and third on the strikeout of Justin Smoak. And it was all off speed every time it was a strike. There's a strikeout wild pitch. And Matt Trainer now with a base hit can knock in a couple more.
I'm sure Buehrle's not an easy guy to face early in your big league career. From the side, you go, well, he's not throwing that hard. Doesn't look that tough. Then you get up there, and you just, most of the time, you just don't see a good pitch to hit. Everything looks tempting, and you end up helping him out by swinging at a bad pitch.
Trainer had that long at bat last time that culminated in his first home run as a Ranger. Launching again into left field. Pierre is back to the track at the wall. He can't get it. Trainer plates 2 more.
Well, the key is when you do get a good one to hit, you have to hit it. And that's just what Matt did right there. 2 quick guys on base, then 2 quick outs. And a big 2-out hit right there by Matt, bringing 2 more runs.
His first 2 extra base hits of the year. They're against the great Mark Buehrle.
That pitch came over and got the middle of the plate, it looked like, or inside half of the plate. Matt put a great swing on it and just barely got it over Pierre's head.
Pierre kind of overran it out there, too.
Looked like it.
3-0 Rangers, and Blanco will take a strike. On the day that the Rangers make a huge couple of moves at the catcher's position. Taylor Teagarden sent down. Jared Saltalamacchia optioned to AAA. Matt Trainer, you talk about seizing the gig, at least for now. He's knocked in all 3, and he is catching a C.J. Wilson shutout. Two games, but they'll do whatever, or he'll do whatever they need him to do. Friday is realistic. The Rangers will be in Seattle, and Ian hopes to be there as well. So, with Mark McLemore joining us now, and Mac, you can, I'm sure, understand Ian Kinsler's sentiment. I mean, he wants to be a Ranger, not a Rough Rider right now, but got to make sure that he's good to go.
Absolutely. I mean, he's been, sidelined since early March. So for a guy like Ian that loves to play the game and goes out and plays hard every game, to have to sit and watch, it's got to be difficult for him. For me, the biggest thing that I think the Rangers really need to keep an eye on was, his psyche. I mean, it can really bother you sitting on the side, and you can get depressed and just not really go after your work the way that you're supposed to. So he seems to be in pretty good spirits. He's ready to get back here, that's for sure.
Does Steve Harvey know that one of his suits is missing?
I called Steve, and he said it was okay for me to borrow his suit.
Oh, good. All right.
I just had to clean it before I could give it back to him.
Glad you guys have that kind of relationship.
We do. We're real tight.
Nice. Rio's taking down and in. And, Mac, we got to talk obviously about C.J. Wilson here for a little bit. I mean, when you go back to spring training, your initial thoughts about this whole, well, then it was called an experiment to have C.J. start.
Well, my initial thoughts on it was leave him in the bullpen where he was. To mess with the bullpen that they had last year
That ball sneaking under the glove of Michael Young. Hamilton dives to grab it. Almost got by him, too. It's a double for Rios. 2 line-grabbing doubles. Pretty much all of the offense for Chicago.
Mike's definitely getting a lot of work tonight. I think it's probably about the 6th or 7th ground ball he's had.
You are correct, sir. There have been 7 ground balls down there, and 2 of them have escaped because they were close to that line. 5 he actually went and got. So you weren't completely on board like a lot of people, I guess, with the whole CJ thing at first.
I really wasn't. Even though he's been a starter before, I thought the job that he did in the bullpen, and actually that the entire bullpen did last year, was a phenomenal job. And to mess with that mix this year, I didn't think it was a really good move. But I think one of the things that's making it work is the presence of Darren Oliver. And then also CJ being able to step into that starter's role and not be a 5th starter, but to be a top of the rotation starter. I mean, he's done outstanding in every start. He's done more than keep his ball club in the game. He's gone out there and he's dominated the opposition. And that's hard to do for a guy that's been, a reliever for the last, 4, 5, 6 years.
Runner going second to third. Matt Trainer doing it all, but the call is safe. Tom Hallion was right there. That would have been the trifecta for Trainer tonight. And he's got the hitting going. He's got the receiving going. Catching C.J. Wilson. I thought he might have had Alex Rios.
That's a gutsy little move right there. He really didn't have that big a lead. And if it's a good throw, he's out at third base in a 3-0 game.
Oh, man.
That might have made Ozzie get up out of his seat, go down and get a drink of water. grab his phone and maybe tweet a little bit.
I knew that was coming.
Carlos Quentin with the infield back is going to pop it back into the crowd. Are you tweeting yet, Mac? Have you joined the Legions?
I have not. I am going to stay right with Tag, and I am not going to tweet.
Old school all the way.
I just can't do it. I can't do it. The Facebook, MySpace thing, the tweeting. I've got kids that do that, so that means that I shouldn't be doing it.
I'm out on Facebook, but I'm a tweeter. 1-2 pitch is outside.
My basic feeling on Twitter. Twitter.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's nobody's business what I'm doing during the day. Why does anybody need to know what I'm doing, what I'm eating, where I'm going, or what I think?
Because you're Thomas Allen Green.
I know, but I like to keep that to myself.
CJ deflecting it is going to hustle after it, fling it to first, and he throws it away. Do or die play, and it's quickly backed up, so no harm there. But it is the first run for Chicago. A heck of an effort by CJ.
That's too bad. Hard hit ball, not a simple play for a pitcher. CJ does field his position very well. And let's see how. That's a one hopper, but it got there quickly, kind of on the other side of his glove. But if he makes the play, the guy's still on third base, and there's one out.
And just to wrap all that up, by the way, C.J. Wilson, like a lot of these modern-day athletes, he was on the front slope of that whole tweeting thing. He's got more than 15,000 followers now on his account. You can get him at Straight Edge Racer, STR, the number 8 Edge.
I really
Racer.
think, and I'm not going to necessarily say you, Josh, but I really think people that have Twitter want to see how many people they can get to join the group of people.
You think like a popularity contest?
I think they want to see how popular they are. I think that's exactly what it is.
Well, CJ's 3.5 times more popular than I am, so.
I'll tell you what, I just don't want 15,000 people knowing what I'm doing.
Me too. I agree 100%.
By the way, for C.J. Wilson, that was close to 26 scoreless innings in a row here in this ballpark until what just happened. Gentry gliding back to take care of it. And boy, I mean, think about how this inning has gone, too. It was a double that barely escaped Michael Young. The stolen base that almost wasn't. And Tag, as you kind of alluded to, a risky play anyway. And then the infield hit to score him.
Yeah, don't you think, Mac, if you're going to steal third base in that situation, it can't be a close play, really, right?
You have to know that you can pretty much get that bag standing up, and that's just not a situation to do it in with nobody out. You've got a power hitter up at the plate. That's just not the best situation to run in.
Double plays in order. Donnie Lucy, the batter. And he did hit the ball on the ground last time. That's one of the ones that got by Michael.
What kind of success did you have against Buehrle as a hitter, Mac?
That's a quick answer. None.
None? Well, I was going to ask you what's the key to hitting them, but since you didn't hit them, you must not know, right?
I do not know where that key is. I wish someone would have told me, but I couldn't find it.
Do quick workers like Buehrle, I mean, does that take you off your game because the guy just gets it and goes?
Well, for me, a guy like that, I would make him go at my pace. He can't throw the pitch unless I'm in the box. Now, I didn't take an exorbitant amount of time being out of the box either because the umpires say, okay, go ahead and pitch. But I didn't go at his pace. I would make him adapt to my pace, whatever that was, and mine was usually slow. And one of the things, you know, as a hitter that you want to do to the pitcher is you want to take him out of his rhythm, just like he's trying to take you out of your rhythm. So if you're just jumping in there because he's a quick worker, then he's controlling the game. He's controlling what you're doing, and that's just something that I didn't want to have happen. It was tough enough for me to go at my pace and get hits.
Well, CJ's slowing it down a little bit now. It keeps on checking that runner off at first. Got Donnie Lucy at the plate. Jason Nix on deck. For Quentin, by the way, that infield hit, he had been just one for his last 34. So he's obviously pretty happy that that worked out for him. On 3 balls and a strike in the infield at double play depth. There is strike 2.
He's made some really good pitches location-wise when he's been behind in the count. There's a 3-1 pitch. Not much you could do with it. First time up to Rios, 3-1 pitch, tailed away, hit it right off the end of the bat.
Runner goes, and there's ball 4. Well, Lucy's been a tough out for C.J. Wilson.
Well, I'll tell you what I like about this. Even though he just walked Lucy, he missed with that pitch inside, but he missed inside off the plate. He didn't miss down the middle of the plate. And that's when hitters or pitchers get into trouble, when you start missing your spot and throwing it down the middle of the plate. No, you don't want to walk a guy, but you're still in control. You can still get a ground ball double play here at the end of the inning.
Nix was a strikeout victim last time up. There's a strike, according to Ron Kulpa. A concept of the quality start, going 6 innings or more, giving up 3 runs or fewer. And CJ's had 3 in a row to start the year. 4 in a row. No Rangers done that in 17 years to open a season. This has been the toughest inning for CJ. Pitch count now at 70. Ahead 2 strikes on Nix. By the way, Mark McLemore will be on the set of Rangers Live after the game. If you want to ask the analyst something, you can text your questions to 57538. Keyword Rangers TV. Ooh, little bit in, apparently 2-2.
That's right where he's trying to throw it. But it was a little in. Good call by the home plate umpire, Ron Kulpa, tonight. CJ's got all sorts of good karma going on tonight with that titanium necklace. Got 2 of them on. Got one knitted, braided, and then another one.
The 2-2 in the air, left field. Moving back on it is Hamilton. He's got it. Mac, we were kind of joking earlier, but it's come true. Vlad Guerrero finally gets to play in the field. Not a single ball even close to him.
I like it. I like it.
It's like, here, Vlad, you get to play tonight. Here's your one time in April. But there's no guarantees, partner.
I like it. Leave it just like that. We need Vlad to hit 4 or 5 times a night.
Juan Pierre now top of the order. He is statistically the toughest in the league to strike out, but CJ got him last time up. And he starts him off beautifully with a strike.
Got Pierre talking to himself up there. He made a good pitch to get him, too. He threw a fastball right in the outside corner.
Pierre's second go-around in Chicago. He was a Cub a couple of years ago. That did not go real well. There's a ground ball from C.J. Wilson. Blanco has it, and C.J.'s out of the inning. Mr. McLemore, thank you very kindly.
You got it. Anytime, guys.
Looking sharp.
Thank you, Mac.
You go take this suit back now.
Baseball brought to you by the U.S. Army. There's strong, then there's Army strong. And by your Texas Chevy dealers, proud sponsor of Texas baseball. Rangers ahead 3-1. Craig Gentry at the plate. Fly deep to left his first time. Just up from the minors today. Nelson Cruz on the DL. Taylor Teagarden sent down today. Jared Saltalamacchia optioned it today. Pretty jarring, Tom. Here we are still in April, and the Rangers catchers have completely turned over. The two guys that were supposed to be in tandem here are now in tandem in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, both catchers and the first baseman have been changed early in the season.
There's been some closer intrigue. There's been an adjustment made there.
I think what it shows, though, is that the Rangers have high expectations for this season. And not that they're not going to show patience, but I think results are very important. And when there's options, alternatives, that they're going to make the alternatives if certain guys aren't getting the job done the way they want to see it done. It's as simple as that. I think it's a good message. A lot of competition, and you're going to be judged based on your performance. No free rides.
Strike three taken by Gentry. Well, and that Oklahoma City team is off to a 13-6 start for manager Bobby Jones. Derek Holland doing a great job. So was Brandon McCarthy before he got hurt. Boy, that one looks high, didn't it?
According to the tracker, it is.
Top of the order, Elvis Andrus. against the man with the perfect game from last summer, Mark Buehrle. After that perfect game, Buehrle let it be known that he thought he didn't have, in his words, squat warming up in the bullpen. Kept apologizing to his catcher, Ramon Castro, saying, don't worry, it'll get better. It did. There's Andrews with a walk. 15 of those now for Elvis. Another Venezuelan shortstop that, boy, rarely walked. Ozzie Guillen, there were years he walked 15 times for the entire season. Here's Elvis with 15 in April. Elvis, remember, was picked off by Buehrle in the third. I'll read you something, Tag, that I saved from an article on Mark Buehrle in Sports Illustrated from a couple of years ago. It says he's one of the most underappreciated pitchers of his generation, a contemporary catfish hunter who won 122 games before he turned 30, yet goes largely unrecognized away from Chicago's south side.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
He's a very low-key guy. He spends his off seasons in a tiny town in Missouri, hunting deer on his ranch, riding four-wheelers with his wife. He proposed to his wife on a deer stand, both of them in camouflage.
Wow. Down-to-earth guy. Elvis almost got picked off again. He better be careful.
And Gary Pettis was reminding him.
Yeah, Buehrle's not a guy you want to challenge to see how far you can get off first base. Yeah, Buehrle, at least 30 starts, 9 straight years.
Michael Young drives this one to right field. Caught near the track.
And he's averaged about 225 innings pitched per year the last 9 years. That's some pretty good durability.
The other thing we always seem to work in with Buehrle, but I just think it's kind of funny. Under this full moon tonight, he does own what has got to be the biggest truck in sports. He has this tricked out Ford F-650 Dominator, which is essentially an apartment complex on wheels. I'll tell you more about the interesting Mr. Buehrle when we have a chance. Right now, it's time for C.J. Wilson. He drives a much smaller car. It is 3-1 Texas. Ranger catcher for the next drought. Foreseeable future anyway, and he has responded. His first home run of the year. He's also got a double And he's catching C.J. Wilson, who, but for a brief little stumble in the 5th, has been just great. Under a full moon at the ballpark tonight, we're in the 6th inning. Gordon Beckham to lead off. There's strike one.
Huh. 2 pitches right on the outside corner. Beckham just waved at that one. When you watch CJ, you watch Buehrle tonight, there's not a lot of difference between the style and the types of pitches they're throwing.
Ooh, that one got him on the foot. That's too bad. 0-2.
0-2 to a guy that really was not taking good swings against CJ.
Now, CJ knows it, too. Now he's got to deal with the power plant. Got Jones and Konerko and then Rios.
Both pitchers are using both sides of the plate. They've got good movement on their fastballs. They're throwing cutters in, backdooring it occasionally. Each one of them is featuring a changeup. And CJ's fastball probably has 5 or 6 miles an hour more on it than Buehrle, but you know, velocity's really not exactly what I'm talking about. It's the style of pitching and the type of pitches they're throwing, very similar tonight. CJ getting a lot of ground balls. In CJ's last start against the Red Sox, he had 14 outs on the ground and only 4 in the air, a couple of strikeouts. It's 9 on the ground, 3 in the air today. Similar ratio. Boy, he's nailing that outside corner pretty frequently.
Well, he went 0-2 on Beckham, then lost him with the HBP. So it's right back to 0-2 on the next guy.
And if you're Beckham, you're probably, as long as he's not hurt, pretty glad to get on base. When you're behind 0-2, struggling to have a good swing at him.
CJ wasting one. It's the ball, 2 strikes. Got him.
Good pitch.
Was that 5 for CJ? Is that what you got?
I've got 4, but I might have missed one.
We'll continue to tabulate as we go to Emily Jones.
Yes, I am here with your friendly 6th inning reminder to check out FoxSportsSouthwest.com. We continue our spring football previews. We rank the conferences and let you know where the Big 12 falls. Also, extensive post-game coverage of the NBA playoffs tonight. Thunder and Lakers and Mavericks and Spurs. Gentlemen.
Right on. Thank you, Emily. Appreciate it. Tom was right, as always. 4 strikeouts.
No, not as always. Just happened to be right this time. Neither one of us are what you call impeccable scorekeepers.
I'm just messy. Can't read my writing. Paul Konerko grounded into a double play last time out. Rangers have the infield configured, hoping for a repeat performance. On the out-of-town scoreboard, the Orioles lead the Yankees 3-2 in the 6th inning. That game is in Baltimore. And the Tigers apparently falling victim to that bad travel they've had. They've committed 3 errors tonight. They're trailing the Twins 2-0 in the 8th.
That is bad travel. They got into Texas at 6:30 in the morning, and they got home last night. I don't know what time it was, probably around 5 o'clock in the morning.
And then they have to face Francisco Liriano, who's leading the league in ERA. By the way, C.J. Wilson is now 2nd. Two-one pitch. Konerko rifles it to left. This is going to get by Hamilton, bounce up against the wall. Beckham to third base. Konerko heading into second and then retreats. Ooh, they might have had him at first base, too. Blanco couldn't get the throw away. Great job of getting the ball back in.
Well, I'll say I just assumed that was a double. Konerko is not a fast runner, but what that does is at least it keeps a double play in order, which could be a huge deal. Josh plays it nicely off the wall. He's going to throw it into third base till he looked up and saw that Konerko hadn't gotten to second base yet.
And Konerko rounding real wide here. Look, I don't know if you can see it, but Blanco's got the ball right here. Would have been close.
And generally, you just set up for that throw to come into the cutoff man toward third base. Don't you just assume that it's going to be a double? Looked like Josh caught out of the corner of his eye, and Blanco realized, hey, I better get back and cover second base.
High fly ball from Rios, way up there. Will they test out Josh Hamilton? No.
Big out right there.
Jeff Cox, the third base coach over there. Beckham had tagged, but no, that's Hamilton out there. He's got the great arm. He would have been out by about 35 feet. So now CJ's got to go get Carlos Quentin, who had the infield single for the RBI last inning. Also struck out back in the second. CJ trying to clean up his own mess here. That 0-2 hit batsman to start the inning. Quentin trying to check his swing. He did not. Thank you, Chuck Norris.
Quentin pointed towards first base umpire. Let's see if he does. Yeah, he's saying, ask the first base umpire. Okay, I will. Strike one.
All right, ask the second base umpire.
Strike two.
That one riding in. 2-1 the count. Quentin's a guy that when he's hot, I mean, he's real tough. That just doesn't happen to be right now. 2 for his last 35. One of 2 Stanford guys in the lineup tonight, playing for a team with a general manager out of Stanford. Donnie Lucy is the other Stanford Cardinal in the lineup. And on the Rangers side of things, you got Ryan Garco. Stanford everywhere tonight. On 3-1. That is ball 4. Mike Maddox comes out of the dugout. We'll talk to C.J. Wilson now that the bases are loaded. Speaking of Ranger coaches, Jackie Moore continues to stay away from the team. The untimely death of his daughter, Sherry Moore Parker. And we've learned of the funeral arrangements. The memorial service will be Thursday in Houston, Thursday evening. And then the funeral itself on Friday at noon in Houston. And Jackie, no timetable for his return. Obviously, he's got to take care of what needs to be taken care of right now. The Rangers honor Jackie in memory of his daughter with that jersey in the dugout. So here's Alexei Ramirez.
CJ's pitch count in the first 3 innings was way down. And then the last 3 innings has gotten up there a little bit. Got up to 93 pitches now.
Ramirez already has 5 career grand slams in 2 years. Former Cuban League star. On appeal, not this time. It is 2-0.
I think it really hurt CJ so far this inning was the hit batter to start the inning on the 0-2 pitch. It just kind of got him off on the wrong foot this inning. Got a break when Konerko didn't get to second. Rios popped up to left field, didn't score with a man on third and 1 out, but now he's got to get Ramirez right here. Get out of the inning.
Bouncing ball and a right base hit. 1 run scores. Vlad Guerrero is up with it. Finally has something to do. He wings it in to hold the runner at third. Well, falling behind 2-0. That cost C.J. Wilson, and now he's got to face Donnie Lucy, who's been on base twice. Now, Vlad doesn't necessarily get after the ball the same way he used to, but he's still got that throwing arm. He's got 175 career outfield assists.
Well, the Rangers, again, got a little bit of benefit because Konerko was the runner at second base. And 9 times out of 10, maybe 99 times out of 100 on that ball, the third base coach is going to wave the runner home. He's way down the line than he wants to, but he decided not to.
Rangers get some action in the bullpen for the first time. The pitch count for CJ up in the mid-90s. And he bounces one to Donnie Lucy.
The last 2 innings have taken a lot out of CJ. He's had to throw a lot of pitches in the 5th and the 6th inning.
That one falls away. 2-0 again.
I walked Lucy last time, and I was behind 2-0 right here with the bases loaded. You got to trust your stuff and throw a strike right here.
Young playing much closer to the line this time than when Lucy had the double. Now he just can't get it over now. 3-0 to the rookie catcher. And you figure this rookie catcher is taking all the way. He is, and there's a strike.
Should be taken right here.
He is taking strike 2. Now the runners will be in motion. Full count, 2 out.
Just barely caught that inside corner.
There they go, and here it comes. Got a piece. To right field and foul will do it again. 102 pitches for CJ now. A lot of them packed into the last 2 innings. We're going to see a 9th pitch of the at-bat.
He's throwing 5 straight strikes.
With Donnie Lucy really battling tonight. He's starting because A.J. Przinsky is slumping. Got a double and a walk, and now this 9-pitch at-bat with the bases loaded.
Yeah, Lucy's a kid that hit .216 in the minor leagues last year, and 220 at-bats, so not looking like that tonight.
Jedi Warrior C.J. Wilson is off the mound with the lead, 3-2. $100 and dinner for two at Sonic. Steve Dixon of Cedar Hill, good luck. If a Ranger hits the grand slam this inning, we're giving away $25,000. Vlad Guerrero takes a strike. C.J. Wilson takes a seat with the lead. And whew, we can all exhale now. That was dicey there in the top of the 6th inning. Guerrero to center field off the end of the bat, and it keeps on going. Almost got out. To second base, he's got a double.
Oh, that was some kind of a bullet right there. That just ate Rios up. That ball was hit hard, and it was slicing toward right field. Just a bullet. 2 ropes for Guerrero. 1 over short the last time up. That ball's not even a strike. He reaches for it and shot a bullet short out the wall in right center field. And he keeps his hot streak going against Buehrle. Buehrle, really, the only way I think he's got a chance to get Guerrero, he's just got to throw it more outside than that and hope he swings at it. If it's near the plate, he's going to hit it hard.
10 for 28 lifetime now for Guerrero against Buehrle. Garco, base hit into left center. And Guerrero has to stop at third. First hit as a Ranger for Ryan Garco.
Ryan is on the board.
Yes. My shout out to Hawk next door. Welcome the White Sox announcers, Steve Stone and Hawk Harrelson, doing the game back to Chicago.
Yeah, Garco's 12 for 25 coming into the game off Buehrle, and now he's 1 for 3.
Well, Ron Washington liking those percentages, gave him the start tonight. Runners at the corners for Justin Smoke as the Rangers try to reestablish a larger lead. Buehrle lifetime 11-3 against the Rangers, including that no-hitter, but so far the Rangers have him tonight.
There just aren't a lot of hitters that can reach out like that and hit a ball that hard, slice it toward right center field. Good spot for Justin right here. He's seen him a couple of times. Buehrle got him to swing at a curveball in the dirt the last time up, so he's seen everything he's got. He's seen the cutter in, he's seen the sinker away, he's seen the slow curveball. Well, he comes into that cutter right on the inside corner, evidently. 2 good pitches by Buehrle to get strikes. Yep, and they were lower part of the strike zone, right on the corner.
Off speed was the diet force fed to Smoke in the last at bat when he struck out. Remember, Justin's on base percentage in AAA this year was close to 500. Tags that one foul. Twins still lead the Tigers 2-0 in the 9th. The Red Sox lead the Blue Jays 2-1 in the 9th. They played a 13-12 game yesterday. Into center field. Rios is there. He's got it. Tagging from third is Vlad Guerrero. He scores. It's 4-2.
A good job by Justin right there. He got a young hitter against a veteran pitcher. Man on third, less than 2 outs. Got behind in the count with 2 strikes, but battled in there and hit a good line shot to center field. Brought the run in. That was a good at bat for Justin. Great at bat for Vladimir. Start here now. Pitch outside, much like the pitch to Guerrero hit, really.
Garco had to hold it first, and here's Trainer, who has driven in the other 3 Ranger runs tonight. On the day that both Teagarden and Saltalamacchia were packaged up and told to be the catching duo in Oklahoma City. It's going to be Max Ramirez and Matt Trainer here. The Coors Light pulled the hard blast. Trainer in the 2nd inning, his first home run as a Ranger. Slowly hit toward short. Garco going in, but cannot break up the double play. Buehrle does get a lot of those Rangers do add a run. 4-2 now at the end of 6. Ford is the best in Texas. By Fred Loya Insurance, where being local matters. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. C.J. Wilson went 6 strong, gave up 2 runs, and that's it. He's going to watch from the dugout now. He has now turned in 4 straight quality starts to start the 2010 season. The Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. We find a taller pitcher, a more right-handed pitcher. Here's Dustin Nippert.
So CJ's had 2 starts where he didn't give up a run. 2 in this one in 6 innings. And 3 earned runs in 6+ innings against the Red Sox. 104 pitches. But a lot of those pitches came in the last 2 innings. His workload in the last 2 innings was extensive. I think by the end of that 104, he was ready to be relieved. He was probably a little tired, but he made the best out of pitch number 104 with a 3-2 strike. And the bases loaded.
Mark Teahan, by the way, pinch hitting for Jason Nix. Be a straight-up swap at third base. And Teahan, who used to kill the Rangers with the Royals, deposits it into right field.
The other thing about that at bat, it started out 3-0, and CJ had to throw 6 or 7 straight strikes to get out of that inning.
Double play is a possibility here, but the guy at the plate, very tough to double up. Juan Pierre will be the batter. And we go to Jim Knox.
All right, Josh, look who we found here. Johnny Jones, head basketball coach at North Texas. It's Mean Green night. He got to throw out the first pitch, and not bad, huh?
Well, I think I'm going to stick to coaching.
There you go. And speaking of coaching, a great job this past season, NCAA tournament. Next year looks great. You guys play Texas Tech at home, then go on the road against LSU. Tough teams, but you got 4 of your 5 starters returning.
We're looking forward to it. It's going to be an exciting year for us with 4 of our 5 starters returning. We think we're up for that type of challenge against that type of tough competition that Texas Tech and LSU will present to us.
All right, there we go, Coach. Good seeing you. Enjoy the rest of the game, Josh.
Mean Green had a great year. Thank you very much, Jim. Nippert brings it to Juan Pierre, and a slowly hit bouncer foul. So again, with the CJ going 6 innings and allowing the 2 runs, he is the first Ranger starter in 17 years to open a season with 4 straight quality starts. Back in 1993, 2 Rangers did it, Kevin Brown and Charlie Liebrandt. CJ was in elementary school back then. There's a strike from Nippert to Pierre. To Nippert, he's got it. There's one. Pierre never hits in a double plays, but he just did.
Oh, perfect throw by Dustin Nippert. So many times you see the pitcher field the ball, rush the throw, pull the infielder off the bag, and they're lucky to get one out. That time Dustin led Elvis across the bag perfectly. That's the only way they could have doubled up Pierre. Watch this throw from Dustin. Looks like a simple thing, but it's not always a simple thing.
Wave and a miss by Beckham.
This is normally the part of the game that Dustin wouldn't see. A late inning relief appearance. He's been more of a long man. But the bullpen's a little different right now because you mentioned O'Day's back has been bothering. Chris Ray pitched yesterday. Frankie and Felice both pitched yesterday. So a little different setup at the end of the game today. We'll wait and see if Felice is available should there be a spot for a closer. If not, may fall to Darren Oliver.
Under a brilliant full moon here at the ballpark tonight. Nippert to Beckham. These teams came in with identical 8-11 records. The White Sox had to rally to get there. They've won 3 straight. 3 one-run wins. Off the end of the bat of Beckham. Gentry has it in range. Got it. The teams were at the 7th inning stretch. 4-2 Rangers. $61 games here at the ballpark. The first game of this prorated ticket plan is Monday, May 17th against the Angels. TexasRangers.com has the info that you need, or call 972-RANGERS. Andres Blanco with a foul. And the bottom of the 7th has begun. Four runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Rangers. 2, 6, and 1 for Chicago. Same 2 teams tomorrow. Rich Harden against Jake Peavy. And Dustin Nippert with a double play ball off the bat of Juan Pierre. That helped out. A scoreless 7th inning.
And it's another example of what Dustin did for the team all last year. He pitched in all different roles. He started, he long relieved, middle relieved, came in toward the end of games. This year he started out the season pretty much as a long reliever, but tonight the bullpen's in a little bit different shape. And it's been up to him to come in late in the ball game. Good to have a guy like that.
Blanco socks one to left field, but there's Juan Pierre. He'll race it down. Mark Teahan stays in the game, by the way, playing third. We mentioned Harden against Peavy tomorrow. Be the first time the Rangers face Jake Peavy. Oh, he was the goods for the Padres before he got hurt. Thursday afternoon, Scott Feldman against Gavin Floyd, and then the Rangers get on the plane and go to Seattle. And the Mariners will have Cliff Lee returning from the DL, I guess, tag on Friday to pitch against the Rangers.
The Rangers don't catch any breaks in that series. They get Cliff Lee, Felix Hernandez, and Pfister has been pitching great ball.
Yeah, of all the Mariners starters, and you mentioned two great ones, Lee and Hernandez. The guy with the best ERA is Doug Pfister.
Yeah, he's in the top 10 in ERA.
Gentry to right center. That ball jumps, but closing in on it, there's Andrew Jones.
Craig's hit the ball hard twice. Once to the base of the wall and left, and that line drive to right center field. Two well-hit balls this inning. But Pierre ran one down, and Andrew ran that
one down. What am I smelling? Germex? Is that what you got?
Yeah, the hand cleaner.
Hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
I thought those were sunflower seeds for a second.
No.
Tom's eating very healthy tonight. Big pile of sunflower seeds.
Not the players' variety. These don't taste quite as good.
Those look like the gourmet.
These are
seeds.
raw organic.
Oh.
Not quite the same.
Never mind. That and fruits, very healthy.
You have a parrot or anything like that at home?
I can take your seeds
home
too.
Like this.
I'm worried you're going to start molting on me here in a minute. Fruit I'll eat. I'll eat fruit. In loop and pebble form. Just missed the plate there to Elvis Andrus, who's been on base twice. They didn't get there a third time, but there's a backhand pickup by Ramirez. And Mark Buehrle has pitched 7 pretty good innings tonight. Rangers have the lead, though, 4-2. Well, Matt Trainor's first home run as a Ranger on the day that he learned that Taylor Teagarden was going down to the minor leagues. The Trainor has also doubled in this game, and he's caught a really good game as well. C.J. Wilson went 6 very, very strong innings tonight. He left with a 3-2 lead. It's now 4-2 Rangers as the teams play ball in the top of the 8th. Want to know the count to Andrew Jones. This is a tough, tricky part of the order here. Some right-handed mashers. Jones, Konerko, Rios, Quentin, and Ramirez all coming up. They loaded up with right-hand bats against C.J. Wilson, and it really didn't help them much tonight. Now all these right-hand bats get to look at Dustin Nippert. Wave and a miss, 1-2. A game in Detroit has gone final tag. The Twins 2-0 over the Tigers. Liriano goes to 3-0. Justin Verlander pitched well, but falls to 1-2.
Well, the Tigers figured out a way to score runs in the Rangers series. They had got a lot of guys on base, got some big hits. Show you how well Liriano must be throwing the ball to be able to shut them out at home like that.
Well, the Twins, remember, without their closer for the entire year, Joe Nathan, but it hadn't seemed to matter yet.
Did Liriano get the shutout?
Liriano went 8, and then Rauschan for his 7th save. 14-6 now are the Minnesota Twins. Foul by Andrew Jones. Red Sox hold off the Blue Jays 2-1. Let's play Buckholes with that win. So a night after a 13-12 game, they get a 2-1 game. And here's your AL Central, brought to you by Jack in the Box. Mentioned Minnesota at 14-6. Another foul from Jones. The Rays beat the A's 8-6. Ben Sheets, a losing pitcher for the Athletics in that one, drops to 1-2. Strike, 3 called.
Good pitch. Couldn't make a better 3-2 pitch than that. Andrew hasn't liked the umpires' calls tonight, but our tracker seems to show that the umpires have been doing a pretty good job.
Paul Konerko coming up. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, guys, time for the Progressive Fan of the Game. You know, these 4 girls right now about to graduate from TCU. Excited? There we go. But we're going to give it to Cindy because her daughter is Rachel. She took all 4 of them to the game for a big treat. They're big Ranger fans. She's from Arlington. Here's the Progressive tote bag, the shirt, the hat. How about it? Let's hear it for Cindy. Congratulations, Cindy. There you go. And good luck to you girls graduating. Getting on with real life, huh? There we go.
Let's hear it from Mom. All right.
That Mom looks like one of the graduates.
Yo, Fox Guy.
Hear that? Yo, Fox Guy. That's going to be Jim Knox's new nickname. Fox Guy.
Awesome!
There we go.
Is that the kid that said, yo, Fox Guy?
Apparently. Everybody just walk by for your picture with Jim. You pick it up on your way out, the little kiosk. 1-1 the count to Konerko.
And Dustin painting that outside corner with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball right there.
One-two delivery from Nippert. Whoa. Bending just wide of the plate. The White Sox have been making contact for the most part this year. They have struck out 6 times tonight. Now, with the A's losing to Tampa Bay, the Rangers have a chance to gain a game tonight in the AL West, get to within 2.5 at first. Royals lead Seattle 2-0. Boy, Seattle still having a tough time scoring runs. They're up against Zach Greinke tonight. Old Greinke had a rough beginning to this 2010 season, but boy, he can absolutely dominate you.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about him until you have to face him.
Indians and the Angels just underway, no score.
Now try that 94-mile-an-hour fastball in the outside corner. Try to change up. A little bit out in front.
Which maybe now sets up what you're talking about, right?
I wouldn't shy away from it.
C.J. Wilson started and went 6. Nippert trying to get through the next couple. Now the payoff. There's Michael Young grabbing it out of the air, and Konerko, who's been swinging such a hot bat, well, he just kind of kicked at the dirt on his way out of the box right there.
Oh, he hit it well. It's a changeup where he gets out in front of it and gets the good part of the bat on it, hits it solidly, but right at Michael Young.
First one in for a strike to Rios. And a couple finals in from the National League. Mets over the Dodgers earlier today, first to 2, 4-0. Johan Santana goes to 3-1. Jason Bay finally hit a home run for the Mets. Rios going up to swing at that one, fouls it away. The Home Depot presenting doing more on defense. And that double play turned by Dustin Nippert last inning. Juan Pierre with that blazing speed. He'll hit into about one double play every 2 months. And there it was. Bouncing ball foul towards a crowd of about 15,000 here tonight under the bright full moon at the ballpark. Again, the same 2 teams tomorrow with Rich Harden on the mound. A $1 hot dog night. We hope you're making plans to come on out. Fastball up and away. The Rockies pounding the Diamondbacks 11-0 in the 4th tonight. And the Pirates are actually even with the Brewers tonight, 2-2 in the 7th. As you look at Darren Oliver getting ready. The Pirates have been outscored something like 9,000-2 by Milwaukee the last few times they've played. Got him on the outside corner. Wilson and Nippert getting it done tonight. Ozagian doesn't like it. Nobody in this ballpark really cares. C.J. Wilson is spot on, Mr. Grieve.
Yeah, C.J. early in the game especially was really sharp, but he really battled at the end of the game as well. In the 5th and 6th innings, he had to pitch out of jams, including a bases loaded 3-0 count on the hitter jam with 2 outs in the 6th inning. And though even though the last couple of innings weren't easy for him, he battled through it and left with 6 innings and 2 runs. Another good start for C.J.
Mark Buehrle was his usual excellent self as well, but he got outdueled by C.J. and now Scott Linebrink takes over. Linebrink, native Texan, grew up down in Austin, was a huge Nolan Ryan fan. He copied his delivery and had posters all over his room, and is always very cool, if not intimidating, when right there in the first row in a suit, there's the actual Nolan Ryan. Young behind 0-2. The Rangers with 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th. Watch the White Sox get 1 in the 5th and 6th. And then the Rangers back with 1 in the bottom of the 6th themselves. And here we are at 4-2. Towards first. Linebrink is told, never mind. Paul Konerko takes it himself. It's a rare hitless night for Michael Young. He'd come in 7 for his last 15 at bats, but tonight 0 for 4. Frank Francisco tonight and not Neftali Feliz as you look ahead to the 9th inning. Neffy's pitched back-to-back games.
Darren Oliver was throwing. Now, he may have just been throwing in case they needed him in the 8th inning. But he sat down quickly, and Frankie got up. Doesn't look like anything's wrong with Darren, so that must have just been the plan. Have Darren ready in case Dustin ran into any problems. Frankie ready for the 9th.
Feliz seemed to be okay velocity-wise yesterday. Down maybe a tick, but he ran into a couple of pretty hot hitters there in that 9th inning. Miguel Cabrera and Brandon Inge. What a roll Brandon Inge got on in that game yesterday. Bounced it to the plate. Vlad Guerrero's on deck. Vlad might have swung at that one.
Probably would have hit it.
Guerrero playing right field tonight. And at the plate, 2 for 3. Has scored 2 of those 4 Ranger runs. Big rip from Josh. And down he goes. Well, we've mentioned this, that the Rangers and White Sox play tomorrow night. And just a reminder that it's Dollar Hot Dog Night, also a Dr. Pepper Autograph Wednesday. Ranger players and coaches will be signing autographs out in the concourse from 5:30 until 6. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. Vlad Guerrero in the air, didn't get all of it. Boy, he loves to swing that bat, though, doesn't he?
I think he just hit a changeup. I think he hit it off the end of the bat.
So the Rangers are down in order. They've got 3 outs left to get. It's 4-2. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. By Progressive for a money-saving car insurance quote. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. And by the Ford F-150. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. Que bella la luna. We go to the 9th inning. The Rangers 4, the White Sox 2. And Frank Francisco is in charge now. The 9th inning has been, let's face it, Tag, it's been a rocky patch for the Rangers this year. The team ERA in the 9th inning is about 7.5.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought Frankie would be waiting for his first save 20 games into the season, but that's where we are right now. And I'd love to see Frankie get that first save. It'd be a good boost of confidence for him, and it'd be a big win that the Rangers need right now.
Michael Young guards the line at third. Strike one. Steered in there from Frankie. David Murphy comes in for defense. That's the end of the rope, end of the night for Vlad Guerrero tonight. And a pop-up in the infield, foul ground. Trainer calling. Trainer's got it. What a night for him.
Oh, it was superb 2 innings for Dustin Nippert. Gave up a leadoff single to Tien, then got a double play and struck out 2 of the last 4 batters. Right down the middle of the plate, but Quentin popped it up. Quentin's struggling right now. Quentin's in a good groove. He might not have popped that one up, but throw strikes. Guys are struggling. Got a good chance to get them out. That's more like
well, strike one to Ramirez. Mark Kotze's moved out on deck.
That one right on the outside corner.
C.J. Wilson is online for the victory. It'll be a tough loss for Mark Buehrle. Only his 4th ever against the Rangers in 18 starts. Man, oh man. Frankie's got it going tonight.
Took a little off that one. 84 miles an hour. Great location. Ramirez looking to get the White Sox within a run with that swing, but came up empty.
Got some of that. It goes to the warning track, but there's Hamilton. 2 down. Dana Larson is on the set of Rangers Live. Let's check in with her real quick.
Be sure to join us soon. Mark McLemore will provide the inside of this game. Also, Evan Grant, the beat writer for the Dallas Morning News, will give us his thoughts on the various roster moves made today. And Emily Jones will provide the Ranger reaction from inside the clubhouse. Keep it right here. Rangers Live coming up right after the ball game.
Thank you, Dana. Looking forward to it. Here is Mark Kotze to pinch hit. Well, this is the kind of ball game that Ron Washington loves. Crisp defense, well pitched, timely hitting. And a chance to go to 3-2 on the homestand. A couple games still to go, including that 7:05 start tomorrow. Again, Rich Harden gets the ball tomorrow. Still looking for that first start as a Ranger where everybody goes, okay, that's the guy. That's the guy we thought we were getting. Not that Rich has been bad yet or anything like that, just not quite himself yet. There's a strike. Michael Young's even with the bag at third. Outfield a bit around to left. Kotze hoists it towards left field. Josh Hamilton's ready. Ball game. That's a nice, quick and easy 9th inning. And in a scant 2:17 tonight, the Rangers dispatch of the Chicago White Sox. Well, they had their number last year, Tag, and they start out well against him here in 2010.
It was a good game. CJ was strong. I like the way he battled through the last 2 innings. Dustin Nippert had a really good 2 innings. Frankie finished it off. And the star of the game offensively, nice game for Matt Trainer. Had a home run and a 2-run double. Justin Smoke chipped in with an RBI and a sac fly. Nice, crisp, as you said it, 4-2 win.
It was an eventful day for the Rangers. Nelson Cruz to the DL. Couple of catchers reassigned. But the Rangers get it done. Rangers Live on standby. The Rangers have defeated Chicago